Hey, what's going on out there this evening? Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody out there in the IE network. Sound like Mr. Rogers or something. Hello, neighbor. What's going on out there tonight, this evening? And welcome to another exciting adventure of the Benchwarmers podcast, exclusively here on the IE network. Right here, of course, on YouTube. Yes, of course, about give hour and a half or so of this lovely program. We're gonna be talking about sports and stuff. You know how we do with me, yours truly, your host, the man himself, James Acevedo, and of course my co-host, Heaven Hollywood, who will be joining us shortly later on the show. You know, you can come on here right here on YouTube by going on the just look up the ID network on that little search screen, the search thingy that you do, that search engine thingy. And then once that pops up, you'll be able to watch this show live, or, if you miss it live, you can watch it anytime you want. And also all the other shows that are on this lovely page. You got Real Talk with Wes Clark and the Jedi Council that comes every Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You also have, Heaven with his the Heaven Highway Experience, which, by the way, I'm wearing his shirt tonight. Yes, I've been had this shirt for the last, almost a month now. I've been wearing it. This is at least my third or fourth time wearing it since I've gotten it. So as you see, the Heaven Hollywood Experience, as you can see, I'm probably showing how little overweight I am. I'm actually 200 pounds, by the way. I lost 8 pounds. I was actually 208 not so long ago, like about a couple of days ago. Anyway, so yeah. Heaven Hollywood Experience comes on here, right here on the IE network. Also, his YouTube lives come on here every so often, and a whole bunch of other stuff. We got, of course, Block TV. I kind of forget about Block TV. That comes on every week. Check out what's going on in the world of entertainment. So, we got a whole lot of stuff going on this channel. So, I advise everybody to make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. Not only my show, all those other shows that just talked about right here on the IE network. So do that or else. Anyway, so here we are with just 2 days away from one of my favorite times of the year. It's been like that ever since I was a young pup back in the day. Shoot, I mean, now we're going on since 1980. I've been a Yankee fan since 1980, so I was 7 years old. So you do the math. So for the past, this is going to be, I think my 42nd season, my 41st or 42nd season, but it's my 42nd season because my 41st season as a I don't know what I'm talking about. It's my 41st season as a Yankee fan, and 41 years as a Yankee fan is my 42nd season watching the Yankees, and boy, have I seen a lot of downs at first, and then I finally got to see a lot of highs. So it makes up for it, when you stick with your team for the long haul, when they finally make a little run and become the kings of the sport. It makes it feel good that you were there during the down times. But ever since I was 7 years old, when this kind of time of year comes, it still gets me all revved up and ready, for the season. I mean, is it different when you're older than you were younger? Yes, of course. I mean, when you're younger, these baseball players they're like giants among men, when you see these guys, not only in baseball, but other sports too. But for me, baseball has been always my number one sport to watch. It's funny because, when I got older, I love to watch. I have to play football more than baseball because football is much easier to do. But it is something when you go and this time of year comes around and you're like waiting for the games to start, and this year of course is different because with the stupid pandemic going on, it's still a little different. It's going to be much different than it was last year because now we're going to have a full 162 game season, which thank God that's going to happen, and also we're going to have fans in the stands. Although it's not going to be full capacity, at least it's going to be something. New York State, last time I checked, it's going to be 20% capacity in both Yankee Stadium and in Citi Field when the Yankees and Mets are at home during the season. So the Yankees are going to open at home this Thursday against the Blue Jays, and management was saying that they're going to have like about a little under 11,000 fans in the stands, which that's better than 0 fans in the stands. We didn't use the cardboard cutouts like other teams did. Certain teams did that, like the Mets and certain other teams, when they put cardboard cutouts of the actual ticket holders, in the stands or whatever. But at least this time there's like going to be actual fans, actual fan reaction, crowd reaction. That's going to be great. So with this upcoming year coming up, I mean, a lot of things are coming up. The Yankees, once again, we're favorites to go all the way. We should stop underachieving and start, doing something and winning a title. Now, this is now going on since 2017. They were actually ahead of schedule as far as being competitive, because everyone thought they were going to go through some, a little, twists and turns there, but that didn't happen. They came up, with Aaron Judge and everybody else. Everyone actually got to be competitive sooner than everyone thought, and Sanchez and all these other guys. But ever since then, it's been high expectations. The only time they didn't really have high expectations, the last time, was 2017, and they went to the ALCS. Ever since then, it's been underachieving. 2018, they lost in the division series to the Red Sox. 2019, they lost in the ALCS in that walk-off, a little help from a buzzer probably, from, Altuve. And don't take off my shirt. Don't take off my shirt. No, don't take off my shirt. Yeah, okay, whatever. I don't care what anybody says. He had a buzzer on him. My tattoo. It was so embarrassing that time when that my shirt got ripped off and my wife didn't like that. I get out of here, man. Anyway, by the way, wait till this year. Now there's gonna be fans in the stands, especially when the Astros come to New York. They're gonna get the crowd reaction and the boos like they should have gotten last year. So don't think Astros, you got away with it last year because it was a pandemic and there was no fans in the stands. As Ralph Kramden says, you are going to get yours. So, yeah. So 19, they lost in the ALCS, and then last year we lose in the division series to the Rays in the deciding game 5. So once again, Chapman giving up a home run. The only difference, it wasn't a walk-off. But it's just, it's about time that the Yankees do at least get to the World Series. I mean, baseball, out of all sports, is the hardest to win a title, maybe next to hockey, only because it's never the best team that wins. It's just not. Think about it. I mean, maybe the exception with the Dodgers last year, because everyone's thinking the Dodgers were going to be one of the 2 teams to actually win the World Series the last couple of years. But other than that, it hasn't been that way. I mean, when the Astros won the World Series 2017, no one thought they were going to win that year. Not really. Not from my knowledge. I don't remember going back 4 years ago. So it's the only time. It's not like NBA basketball where, LeBron, it's always the Lakers. Like when LeBron was on the Cavaliers, it was the Cavaliers versus the Warriors. And now it's going to be the Lakers and probably going to be the Nets. It's like, it's so predictable. Everyone got these not everyone, but you got these super teams, and God forbid somebody would love to be competitive and want to face each other and make it more interesting. But instead, everyone wants to be buddy and say, I'll ride your coattails, LeBron, so I can get a free ring. I don't want to fight against you because you are my friend to the end. Oh, brother. Anyway, so get back to the baseball. So the Yankees are so overdue. Of course, I heard this, yesterday? Luke Voigt is now out for practically a month because he had some sort of injury. I forgot what the injury was. I think it wasn't an oblique. It was something with his arm or something like that. So here we go again. That's what, ever since 2019, all of a sudden we're all injury prone all over again. I mean, it's like, now what? Now, thankfully, we signed Jay Bruce, who's a former Met, former Indian. Now he's going to be playing first base for the Yankees. And, I'm not expecting much from Jay Bruce, but who knows? Once you put on those Yankee pinstripes, it does a little something to you. And who knows? Maybe Jay Bruce will help out the team for the next month or so until I can't believe I forgot. Luke Voigt comes back. I almost tried to brain fart for a second. Luke Voigt comes back. So that should be, And then, Luis Severino is going to come back from Tommy John surgery later this year, probably by the time the second half of the season starts. He's been out since all year last year, 2020. So you have that. I mean, you have Domingo Germán back after completing his suspension for domestic violence ever since he got suspended at the end of the 2019 season. So, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of there is question mark. I mean, the starting pitching, we have Kluber now, who used to be the ace for the Indians. I mean, he's not the same guy. This guy hasn't pitched in the last couple of years. Last year, he only pitched like one inning, if that. And the year before that, he didn't pitch at all. So he's been, not the same guy. Really, Kluber hasn't been the same guy since Didi Gregorius hit 2 home runs in that deciding game of the 2017 wildcard series, in that division series. So, he hasn't been the same since. That's when he said, "Oh, my back hurt," and that's why he wasn't 100%. And then after since then, went down the toilet after that. So hey, if Kluber gets back to at least somewhat of what he was about 4 or 5 years ago, hey, he could be a good number 2 pitcher, and everyone else will fall in line. Of course, Garrett Cole, he'll be our ace. I forgot the guy Tomlinson. From the Pittsburgh Pirates. We made that trade. That's supposedly Derek Cole's friend. They were teammates together in Pittsburgh. He actually was not too bad of a pitcher. I'm not too familiar with his work because obviously he's in the National League. Well, he did pitch in the National League, but he supposedly has a lot of potential and talent. He's had some credentials in baseball. The bullpen, Chapman, and he's been Mr. giving up the big moment of the last couple of years with a big home run. And also, what's his name? I forgot. Our setup guy in the bullpen. He's injured, and we don't know when he's coming back. So we got the bullpen is not as strong as it's been the last couple of years. So although I still think in American League East, even though the Toronto Blue Jays are an up-and-coming team, with all their prospects they got in the minor leagues that came up the last couple of years and all that stuff. I mean, I don't know. There'd definitely be a better team, but I think the Yankees will still. It all depends because their pitching staff actually is not too shabby either. But their number one ace is that Asian dude. I forgot his last name, but other than him and those other guys they got, I mean, who else do they have? They really don't have. That it's a toss-up just like with the Yankees or their pitching staff. So, but although, we're going by what's on paper, which is very hard to do for the most part in baseball. Most of the time, the team that's very good on paper does at least go to the playoffs. Never a guaranteed championship like it is in basketball and for the most part in NFL. But the Yankees should definitely win the division. They have no excuse. I don't care, injuries, whatever. They have no excuse. If they're fully throttled, unless they have everybody on their staff, like, on the injury reserve or something, I don't see how they don't win a division. I don't want to see another wild card again, but I definitely see the Yankees. The Yankees, I forgot what their average, the over-under, although I don't get into that really. But they're definitely going to win 90-plus games, at least 95 wins, give or take. I would say about 92 to 95 wins, if everything goes right. At worst case, 90 wins, if that. I don't know if 90 wins would be enough for the American League East, but other than the Blue Jays, and I don't know, no one sleeps on the Red Sox, although they're not the same team they were a couple of years ago. But I don't see them really doing much. And as far as the Rays, I mean, they've been a good team, to be honest, for the last few years. So it wasn't that surprising. The year before, in 2018, I was a little more surprised. I mean, they were in third place that year. They had over 90 wins. I mean, that year we had 3 teams that had 90 wins in that division. I think the Blue Jays even didn't do too bad. I think the Blue Jays – no, excuse me. It was the Red Sox, Yankees, and the Rays that year in 2019 that had over 90 wins. So I don't see that this year with 3 teams in American League East having 90 wins. But the Rays will probably be in the 80s. They could possibly be the second-place team, second or third. To me, they took a loss with losing key certain players on their staff. So I think the Blue Jays have a chance of being second place in the American League East, and possibly a wild card. It all depends on the rest of the divisions of the American League. But I think the Rays will fall short and they won't make the playoffs. I mean, it's possible. The Rays, they always find a way. They like the Oakland A's of the East. They always find a way to stay competitive with their, even with their low payroll. They always find a way to stay competitive. It's amazing. They've been like that for quite a while now. So I don't know. They should be able, like I said, they'll be hovering around the Yankees. They'll be like a bunch of mosquitoes, going around the Yankees' heads, and the Yankees are like, get out of here already. We're gonna win this division. So hopefully, that should be the case. I mean, but there's no excuses. I'm tired of it. I don't want to hear anything. Not that the Yankees make excuses, but you're the Yankees. You have the resources. You got the guys on the field. I mean, they're too right-handed in my taking, although if you're a great team, it doesn't matter. But you should have some sort of balance in lineup. Taking away if you other than Hicks and Jay Bruce off the top of my head, and maybe Mike Ford when he plays every once in a while, they don't have really much left-handed bats. Everybody's right-handed. Stan, right-handed. Aaron Judge, right-handed. Luke Voigt, right-handed. Gary Sanchez, right-handed. Everybody right-handed. I mean, shout out to the right-handed people because I'm team right hand too. But you have to have some sort of balance. I mean, if Aaron Hicks wasn't a switch hitter, he probably, to tell you the truth, Aaron Hicks is a better left-handed hitter than a right-handed hitter. So he's probably one of a few pure-handed left-handed hitters because to me he's a better left-handed than right-handed hitter. But we don't have that balance like we used to do back in the dynasty years. When Jorge was a switch hitter, Bernie Williams was a switch hitter. So, like I said, barring a some sort of catastrophe happening with them, I don't see how they don't win the division. I'm not saying they're going to run away with it. I don't think they'll run away with it. I think by 5-7 games they should win it. In my opinion, the second place team I would think would be the Blue Jays. It all depends because George Springer is already on the shelf. Once again, Springer, the injury prone that he is, already on the shelf. So, that was the risk you had to take when you put stock in that on that free agent signing. So we'll see what happens. But the Blue Jays will be there. I won't be surprised if they make the playoffs. They be the second place. I don't see them winning division. And I don't see the Rays doing what they did last year, especially when now you have a 162-game season. I always felt that if it was a full 162 last year, the Rays probably would have been at worst a wild card. I don't think they would have won the division. But they took advantage of the 60-game season. So, hey, they went to the World Series. You can't hate on that. It is what it is, as they say. Now, as far as the Central, the American League, everyone, the White Sox, Tony La Russa, and all these guys we have on our team, they're gonna win it. Everyone likes to, go for that, that flavor of the month. It seems like, I'm not saying that the White Sox are not a good team because they have shown that in the past, but I don't know if they're ready yet. And to me, the Twins, although they fall apart in the playoffs, I still think that's their division to lose. I don't see the Minnesota Twins, unless, again, barring injuries, I don't see them really losing that division. So I think they'll win the division. The White Sox could chance for a wild card, one of the two wild cards in the American League. I can see that. But other than that, I don't think they're ready yet. Although you have Tony La Russa as your manager, Hall of Fame baseball manager coming out of retirement, and now back in the dugout again, where he first started with the White Sox from 1979 through 1983, I think it was. He was there from, I think, through 84, if I'm not mistaken. No, actually, I think it was through 86, excuse me. Yes, he was there from 1979 through 1986, the first time when he managed the White Sox before he went to Oakland. And he had somewhat of a dynasty. I guess yes and no, but not really, not like the Yankees. I mean, they won 3 pennants and 1 title. They won 3 straight World Series, but only won uno. Not like the Yankees 4 out of 5. Should have been 5 out of 6. That's a different story. I said that in the past on here. So, so I think the Twins will win the division, and I think the White Sox will be one of the 2 teams fighting for that wild card. And I think it's both wild card teams in the American League. I think are going to come out in the American League East and the American League Central. And as far as the American League West, I think it's anybody's division. Now, last year was Oakland A's because of the 60-game season. I think it's gonna, I have a definitely big time possibility of winning the division. I mean, you still got the Houston Astros; they're still there. They're like Michael Myers, and they never die until you make sure that they're dead. So I think the Astros will still be competitive. I don't think they're as good as the last few years, although they almost completed coming back down 3 games to love against the Rays, which that would have been the first time, of course, since the 04 Red Sox against my team against the Yankees. And that's why I was hoping in a way the Astros would have done it. So that way it would have took the Yankees off people's minds to being the last team to choke a 3-0 lead. But, of course, that didn't happen. But I give kudos to the Astros for making it a 7-game series when they were down 3-0 in the American League Championship Series against the Rays. So I think the Astros will be competitive. They could make a run for the wild card, but their pitching is very suspect. I mean, they lost a very key main guys the last couple of seasons. I think it's Oakland's division to lose, so I'm taking Oakland to win that division, and I don't see nobody coming out of that division from the wild card. I think both wild card teams is going to come from one from the American League East and one from the American League Central. And in my bold prediction, I'm going to say it's going to be, I would say, definitely the White Sox possibility. Definitely wild card and I would say the Blue Jays, just to make it interesting, even though, that's a lot of people's flavor of the month too, but I'm not thinking that they're there yet. And let's not remind everybody, they still don't have a home, the Blue Jays, because of the COVID protocols. They still can't play in their home stadium yet until their country, Canada, lifts up the restrictions. So from what I last read, they're going to play in Buffalo. I think it was in Buffalo. I gotta look it up. But last year they played in Buffalo in their minor league AAA team, the Bisons. I don't think this year they're gonna be there. I forgot. I remember seeing where they were gonna play for the first part of the year, for the most part, until the restrictions in Canada get lifted and they could play in the Sky Dome. But I mean, that's a big deal. I mean, that's not easy for a team to be playing somewhere that's not really your home. Psychologically, that does affect you. I don't care what anybody says. It does affect you after a while. So especially when you're used to your dimensions of the ballpark and stuff like that. So we shall see how that goes. So going to the National League, everybody, talking about, oh, the Mets are right there, with their new owner, Steve Cohen. We got Francisco Lindor, which, by the way, they haven't signed yet. It's amazing. They offered Lindor 10 years at $328 million, and Lindor said no. He wants 12 years and about $385 million. So 30 more per year. So altogether $60 million a year. So that tells me a lot. And I think he's really going all in. I think he's putting his chips all in, at the poker table, because he's really banking on he's going to have a real good year. And he thinks that he could raise the stakes of his worth. Now, anything can happen. I mean, he could slip on a bar of soap in a bathtub, and his career's over. So I mean, if I was him, I would have took that money. I would have signed for that 10-year, $328 million. Because let's be honest, who's going to need a shortstop? I mean, the big class of the free agency of shortstops is going to be this coming fall after the 2021 season is over. You're going to have big names of shortstops is going to be becoming free agents. I mean, Story from the Rockies and Lindor, one of those guys, if he becomes, which he will be, because if he doesn't sign his extension, he's definitely going to be a free agent and go play the market, which I think that's what's going to happen. I think that could be a big mistake for Lindor, because other than his fielding, his hitting, I mean, he's a very decent hitter. I'm not taking anything away, but he's not like, oh my, he's a great hitter, and he hits all balls in the field, and he hits 30 to 40 home runs a year, and hit 125, 130 RBIs a year. He's not like that. So I think he's really banking really too high on himself. I think he should take the 10 years and $328 million, and that's all guaranteed, and just go with it. You know what I mean? I mean, it could be that because he really feels he could get more at the free agent market, and also maybe because he doesn't feel too comfortable in New York. Maybe he's thinking to himself, well, maybe I won't like New York. So if I sign this contract, I'm stuck. You know, maybe he hears the rumblings of how, Bobby Bonilla didn't like it here, and Beltran wore the earplugs like Bobby Bonilla did. Didn't like to hear the boos of the crowd. Because it's not for the faint of heart to play in the Northeast. If you play in New York, Boston, Philadelphia, definitely in those three major cities, we let you know, we tell you how we feel, how your play is. If you are doing what you're supposed to do, and if you're even better than that and you're great, we're gonna give you your props. We're gonna cheer. We're gonna stand. We're gonna say, yeah, this, that, and the third. Now, if you are inconsistent or you suck, then you're gonna hear the other side of it. You're gonna hear boos. You're gonna hear catcalls. You might even hear worse things than that, unfortunately. So that's how New York and Boston and Philly is. It's not for the faint of heart. That's why most baseball players, they can't handle playing in the Northeast. They just can't. They run and hide to St. Louis or Los Angeles and stuff like that. So going back to the NL East, my prediction, I have always said every year, I guess because I think of them, as being at least a wild card team. I think this year they definitely could be a wild card. Although I don't know where, I forgot what prediction thing I saw. They had the Braves at fourth place. I'm like, the Braves at fourth place, and they had the Mets at first place. Now, I'm not saying the Mets are chopped liver, but they improved. But they're not. I don't think they're at that high level yet where they could be at first place. I think they'll might hover around second. Second place, maybe third place. But it all depends. I mean, you still got the Phillies with Joe Girardi managing them, and Didi Gregorius came back. He re-signed with the Phillies, which, by the way, I thought it was still a big mistake over a year ago that the Yankees did re-sign him. I always loved Didi Gregorius. I mean, he filled those big shoes of Derek Sanderson Jeter, big time, and he came big time clutch in the playoffs the last few years before his last year, 2019. I think they just thought in 2019 when he came back from that major injury with his arm and he had the Tommy John surgery that he wasn't the same player. But I see with our shortstop, he's very hot and cold. Gleyber Torres, he's very hot and cold. When one thing I've noticed about Gleyber Torres is he came up as a rookie in 2019. In 2018, when he came up as a rookie in 2018, a few weeks into the season that year. This is what I know about Gleyber Torres. He's very inconsistent fielding-wise. He still hasn't patterned down his fielding skills. Originally, he was in the minor leagues as a shortstop. When he came up, they moved him to second base because Didi Gregorius was our shortstop. And that was like that for, 2 years. Last year was his first year going back to his natural position like it was in the minor leagues as a shortstop. But he was still, not cleaned up with his fielding skills. And his hitting was inconsistent too. And one thing about Gleyber Torres, he's very hot and cold. When he gets real hot, he can, actually carry a team for a little bit. But if he gets injured, forget it. It'll take him almost the whole season to get that mojo back. And that's the thing about Gleyber Torres that, this is only, to be fair on the kid, it's only his, his third full season. So, got to give the kid some slack. We still have him under control for the next couple of years. But, with the free agent class of shortstops coming after this 2021 season, would I be surprised if Gleyber Torres ain't that good? Would they look at a new shortstop? Maybe. I don't know. I don't like the Yankees when they play rotisserie baseball and they just buy every position player. And I'm glad the Yankees we have now, as far as we got a homegrown, just like in the dynasty years, and we got, very little, free agent guys, not like how it was in the 2000s, and into the, the teams where it was like we got like every, free agent, it seemed like, which I don't like. And I don't believe in buying a championship, but, it makes it, you want some sort of like, you could relate to the team, you know what I mean? You don't want everybody being quadruple millionaires and whatever. So, but I think the like I said, going back to the National League again, National League East, I still think it's the Braves division to lose. And as far as who would be second place, definitely the Mets. The Phillies have shown they're very inconsistent. I don't know if they're competitive, but there's something missing on that team. I don't know what it is, but I think the Phillies are going to be a third place team, and I think the Mets are going to be second, and possibly I would say they're going to be one of the two wildcard teams in the National League. Do I see the Mets maybe winning over 90 games? Yeah, I can see that. I think that they'll be under 90. I think they're going to be like 88 wins. I can see around there, and that's definitely could be enough for the wild card. I don't see them like 94. I don't see like 92, 90. I don't see that high. I mean, could they hit 90? Possibly, but I don't think they'd be higher than 90 wins. The Mets. And if you know about the Mets, there's always something that gets in their own way. But with Steve Cohen, his new owner, maybe they'll get rid of that mojo for once and get over the hump and get back into the postseason, which they haven't been since that one-game playoff back in 2016 against the Giants when Bumgarner basically shut them down at Citi Field that night. So that's my prediction in the NL East. The NL Central, I mean, you got the Cubs. I swear, ever since they won a title in 2016, they've been like complacent. Like they haven't really seemed like they really care about winning another championship. I mean, they've been competitive, but they really haven't done much in the National League, in the playoffs, really. So in that division, but in the National League, I mean, Milwaukee is an improved team. Milwaukee could definitely win that division. The Cubs, could win that division. But the Cardinals are always, for some reason, they always find a way. I mean, that's just a great organization. I mean, they picked up that guy. They made that trade to get that third baseman. So one of the all-stars of baseball. So I mean, in my prediction, I don't know about their starting pitching with the Cardinals, but I'm gonna go on a limb. I think I'm gonna go with the Cardinals winning the division, and I could see. I gotta think about this. Actually, you know what? I don't think no one from that division will be coming out as a wild card because I think the Brewers and the Cubs are going to beat each other up, and they just won't make the playoffs. Now, in the West, I mean, probably the most easiest prediction ever, the Dodgers, until otherwise. They probably be the best team again in baseball next to the Yankees. And the only team that could really give them a run for their money will be the San Diego Padres. A lot of people are picking them. Everyone, Fernando Tatis Jr. Oh, he's good. I forgot. I heard this like the other day. He's gonna be the next Ken Griffey Jr. I see him as being that type of player. As far as being the brand of the Major League Baseball. I'm like, he played like not even 2 seasons, like 1.5 seasons, something like that. I mean, I could tell he has skills. I'm not downing the kid, but can we wait till he really, shows that? I mean, geez, you're already saying, oh, he's the man of baseball. He's going to be the face that runs the place. I mean, come on, Fernando Tatis. I mean, with the money that he freaking earned, he better earn that. By the way, you see here in the background. I think Heaven's on the air. Are you there, Heaven?
Bang. Why I get one like that, I have absolutely no idea. It was just on my mind. Jimmy A's, what's up?
We are honest on this show. As you can see, I'm sporting a T-shirt that I bought a month ago. This is like my 3rd or 4th time wearing it. Having the Hollywood.
Oh, that's funny. I'm not on cam, but I got mine on too. Hey, how about that?
I saw that on the live. I started cracking up. I said, wow, great minds think alike.
What's going on, my brother?
Yeah, good, man. Good. They're chilling. I was just going over like, my predictions of the Major League Baseball as far as the season, this season starting this Thursday. And I go back. I'm glad you came on because this is something you could relate to because, we're around the same age.
Yeah.
I would say if you're the age of 30 to, I would say even older than us, you definitely are a fan of baseball. It's something with baseball. It's a father and son bond type of thing.
Right.
It's something where I can remember like yesterday. I remember I was 1977. I was 4 years old, right?
Mm-hmm.
I vaguely remember, but I remember going to Shea. My dad took me, and it was the Pirates versus the Mets. So Willie Sargent obviously was on that team. I don't remember who else, but
Right.
I do remember that, and it was something with baseball. And when you're a kid, everything seems so much bigger in life. When you're a kid, you go, wow, look at these guys. They're doing something that very few people can do. A lot of people don't realize the hardest thing to do in sports is to hit a circular object with a cylinder bat in your hand at 90 plus miles an hour. And let's not forget, there's the ball can move.
Right.
That, you know, you know. So of course you would know because you played baseball in high school, so
Right.
you would know, and you were on the precipice of probably being in Major League Baseball. At least going to minor leagues, at least. So it's not it's like almost like a Jedi, like talent. Like it's the most amazing thing. So I have a sentimental feeling when it comes to baseball. This is my favorite time of year. Every time. And like I said earlier, is it the same when I was a kid? No, of course not. But it's still that, watching the game. I mean, the game is not what it used to be now. It's either home run or nothing, which I hate. They're doing things in the minor leagues this year that they're testing where they're trying to make the game more exciting as far as more steals, as far as making the bases like 2 or 3 inches bigger to test that out in the minor leagues so that could tempt runners to steal more like it used to be with Ricky Anderson and Vince Coleman were in the game back in the day. Have a lot more hit and run, a lot more doubles, stuff like that. And I forgot all the other programs they try to do, less shifting and all this stuff. But here's the thing. Until they, really make it where the batter needs to stop, twiddling his thumbs and let me adjust my batting glove and let me, adjust my belt. And oh, wait a minute, I got to touch my head. I got to look at the third base coach for the third or fourth time. And then the pitch, now the bat's ready. Now the pitcher has to, set his stance, getting ready. He looks at first base, he looks at second, and then he looks, and then he's shaking off the catcher. It's like, come on, throw the ball.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you watch old games, and not even, if you go back in the 90s even, they didn't take them in years. I blame Garcia Parra for all of this. Garcia Parra, if you're watching this right now, I blame you. Now, you know Heaven who I'm
You
talking
blaming
about.
Nomar?
Yeah, I'm blaming Nomar. By the way, his real name is Roman, but he put it backwards to make himself special. Anyway, it is what it is. But here's the thing. He's the one he's coming in. I mean, of course there were other guys, but he really stand out. Every time, every pitch, stepped out of the batter's box. Let me adjust the gloves and do that wrist action. Let me do that and let me look cool and get back in the batter's box. Even Ricky Henderson would have been like, boy, can you just get in there? I thought I was a ham. but it's like stuff like that. And you wonder why kids who are like teenagers or younger, they're like, I don't want to watch this game. You know why? Because it takes forever. It takes about, the average game is about 3 hours. It's ridiculous. It shouldn't be like that. It needs to get, now with me, now people who are diehard fans like me, it doesn't matter because, I love the game. So it doesn't matter. I can watch an 18-inning game as long as, now it sucks when they lose, but it doesn't matter. But for the young folks, they're not gonna wait for 18. They're gonna look. I got stuff to do, man. And that's why they're implying that's what they tested with the, the runner at second base at the start of the 10th inning to try to, speed up, not only to get the game over with, but also to help the pitching staff with their bullpen and stuff like that. So I remember at first I didn't like that rule when they first started that last year, but I like that rule. Actually, because you save your pitching staff to the possibility of going to 10 billion innings. So I don't mind that so much. Just don't put it in the playoffs, which they won't do. But the only you don't do that's fine. But yeah, my passion for baseball, as you can see, is I just love it. I was just saying also because I practically finished my predictions just about you came on. I talked about your Mets. I have them as a wild card at least. I don't see them overtaking the Braves this year. The Braves are still too good, I think. But this Francisco Lindor situation, I just don't understand how Francisco. Well, I guess I do understand. Management offered him 10 years, 328 million, and he said, "Nah, you know what I want? I want 12 years, and basically 60 more million after that." So,
12 years.
so I'm like, bro, you good, but I don't know. You ain't. You're not Barry Bonds or something like that.
Right.
So so I don't know how you feel, but this tells me this. It's like, okay, I think it's all combination of things. I think it's a combination of he wants to see if he likes New York, because New York ain't no picnic.
Absolutely.
You suck. We're gonna let you know. We don't sugarcoat.
Absolutely.
This is why we are the way we are. Everyone goes on your live. Why you talk so loud and why you so like you're passionate with your opinions? That's how we are. That's how we talk. That's how we're passionate about sports. We're passionate about what we're passionate about. You know what I'm saying? And why you yell? Why you oh, shut up.
Yeah, they always say, "Why you yell?" They say it to me all the time. Why are you yelling?
What? Why you talk so fast? Why you talk so fast? but Francisco Lindor, I want to get your thoughts. I think it's a combination of he wants to see how New York is, and I think a possibility he's putting all his chips on the poker table. He's all in, and he's thinking he can get a bigger payday, and possibly because of their Dodgers shortstop Seager becoming a free agent at the end of the year, maybe he's thinking or hearing words like, "Oh, you could be the Dodgers shortstop in LA and La La Land." Well, go ahead, but dude, I'm gonna tell you right now, and that's easy for me to say because I'm over here doing what I'm doing. If I got offered 10 years and 328 million to play baseball, I'm like, yo, I'm there. Because guess what? Like I was saying, you could slip on a bar of soap tomorrow and your career's over. You know,
if you offered me 10 years, 28 million to play baseball, I'm playing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But, dude, I mean, 30 million a year or something like that. Like, bro, you're getting more money than all these other guys. Even I think even Mookie Betts are around there. So what's the problem? Unless you really, really thinking you want to test the waters because you hear rumblings from your Spanish homeboys. Well, Carlos Beltran didn't care for the Mets too much, or all this or whatever. I don't know. There's a lot of theories, but I mean, I think it's a risk. I think it's a big time risk.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you on that. Whenever they go up and say, I want this, said I think they're kind of making it a unreachable number on purpose. So then that way they're not the ones looked upon as, oh, he doesn't want to be here. That makes the Mets look like, oh, they don't want him here. They don't want to pay him. Like they don't want him to give him what he asked for. So I think a lot of times people go and try to make these unforgivable numbers, these unreachable numbers that they know that the Mets probably aren't going to give them. So then they can say, well, I wanted to stay, but, they didn't give me this. So I think the offer that they offered him is fine.
It's fair.
I mean, it's more than fair. Like, you're getting paid. How many people would be paid more than him? What, Stanton?
Yeah, probably.
Harper.
And probably
Harper and Mookie Betts and probably Trout.
Oh, yeah, true. Trout. I can't forget Trout.
Yeah, that's true. So, but look at all of those guys' resumes.
Way better resume. Thank you.
Right. They've been doing it longer, number one, and they have a better resume. Now Mookie Betts, unless I've been on planet Mars over the last 3 or 4 years, I don't remember Mookie Betts doing that to generate that salary. Mookie Betts?
I mean, he did basically almost similar to what Lindor's doing as far as like the Boston Red Sox offered him a ton of money, and he said, "Nah, we'll talk after the season." And basically, he knew all along, like, look, I'm not staying in Boston for whatever reason.
Okay.
They like the town.
All right. So, yeah, he came from Boston, right?
Yep.
If you can,
I can tell you.
bring up Mookie Betts' last 4 seasons, and tell me what he's. You know, I love doing this. Tell me what he's making, and you tell me his last 4 seasons, and then give me his career numbers.
Oh, absolutely. I'm going to get around to it. My computer, of course, wanted to mess with me now. I'm waiting for it to come back on. But
because I mean, Trout. Look at Trout. If you see how much Trout's making, you look at Trout's numbers, and you can say, okay, well worth the investment. Harper, you already know how I feel about him. Always felt about him. Always felt he was overpaid. He's so great. As soon as the team couldn't wait for him to get out of there to win a title. So he rubbed so many guys in that locker room the wrong way.
Thank you.
And made them so uncomfortable because he felt as though he was the Washington
National.
The National. He felt as though they were the National. When they totally built that team around Strasburg, Scherzer, they totally built it around their pitching. Bryce Harper was not that guy. He was always overrated to me. You come out and they're like, oh yeah, this guy's having a great year. He's hitting 260 with 30 homers. So what? Like 260 with 30 home runs. Like big deal.
Big deal.
I mean, so
you know what else ruins this too is what I call analytics. There's analytic crap. I can't stand. Oh, his WAR. His WAR.
Yeah, great.
And all this other stuff.
The only war I know is the war that we go into with the army. I don't care nothing about no war. That's a stat like win shares in basketball. Like where did all these stats come from?
Yeah. I don't see. You know what it is? Is all these dudes
PER.
Yeah. What is that? What is that? You know what I'm saying?
Man, player efficiency rating. Look, dude. Batting average, home runs, RBIs, hits, runs scored, walks, strikeouts, stolen bases. That's all I care about.
Okay, if you
want base percentage, slugging percentage. That's it. That's all I need.
And pitching, don't give me a whip. You know why I want to pitch? Wins. It's not that difficult.
Wins, losses, ERA. That's all I care about. I don't even care how much. Right.
How many innings he pitched and how many hits he gave up?
And how many hits he gave up. That's all I care about. I don't give a damn about no whip.
Bada beep, bada boop, and all that. Bada boop, wop, bada boo, bada wop, bam, boom. I don't care about that. So, it's ridiculous.
Right. Yeah. I don't care about none of that stuff. Because all of those are all camouflage stats to me. Those are all camouflage stats. These guys, PER. They're just trying to find other ways to solidify these analytic garbage.
Yeah, you know what it is, and let's be honest. These nerds that they couldn't play a sport to save their life, and they got thrown in a locker every day in high school. So this is their way of like, well, I'm smarter than the jock, and I'm going to show that analytics, are proven to be effective. And what happened to the eye test? I mean, the World Series last year proved it big time. This dude, I forgot the dude's name on the Rays. He was pitching lights out. The guy reaches not even 100 innings. He gave up a base hit, a leadoff base hit. It was not even like the 5th or 6th inning. He's taking him out.
Oh, he reached 100 pitches. Gotta go get him.
David Cone in that 95 division, the first wild card series against that classic series against the Mariners that they lost. David Cone, basically, that's why he almost lost his arm. Literally, he threw 155 pitches.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? So it's like that was almost a norm. Okay, he's 120, 130. Okay, what's the big deal? Okay, he's hitting 100. Okay, if you, especially if you're the man, like Ric Flair
Is
was
he
saying,
still is he getting tired? That's what you should be caring about.
yeah.
He
Okay,
hit
he's good.
100. Does he seem tired?
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Okay, and now for the moment you all been waiting for. Mookie Betts' career stats. Okay, as of right now, his career, he's had he's had 3,422 at bats in his career. His lifetime batting average is 301, 155 home runs, 1,029 hits, 660 runs scored, 509 RBIs, 136 stolen bases. His lifetime slugging percentage is 522. His on base.
He's way better than I thought. He's way better than I thought. First of all, so he's got how many years has he been in the league?
Oh, he's been in the league. Let me look right here. Hold on, read more. Hold on. He's been.
I know 10 years ain't passed that quick.
No, he ain't 10. Maybe 7. Maybe I gotta look again because this.
Yeah, it says right there. Should say wasn't his first year.
This is this computer wants to mess with me. Here we go. Okay, here we go. He's been around since 2014.
So this is his 7th year.
And he's won
career batting average 301.
Yeah, and he's
got 1,029 hits. That's not bad.
Yeah, and he's won an MVP. MVP and 2 world titles.
2
world titles. Yeah, he won with the Red Sox in 2018, and he won with the Dodgers last year. Yep.
And what was his numbers last year?
Last year, okay, we gotta remember this is a 60-game season last year. He had 219 at bats. Where's that batting average? Okay, come on, batting average, where you at? Okay, here we go. He batted 292. He 16 home runs and 39 RBIs. Last year.
That was the full season. What about the 2 seasons before that?
Okay, 2019, he had 597 at bats in 2019. He batted 295. Let's see here, how many home runs? 29 home runs, 80 RBIs. It really wasn't as a good year the year before. But the year before, now his MVP year in 18 when he won his first title. He batted 346.
Okay, there we go.
32 home run. No, excuse me. Yeah, let me see again. Let's see. 32 home runs, and he had 80 RBIs that year. 120. How many runs scored? He had 180 hits that year, so just 20 shy of 200 hits. His slugging percentage was 640. His on-base percentage was 438, which is very good.
Yeah.
And 129 runs scored. I mean,
and what's his contract? What's he making?
Oh, his contract. Let's get to that. Mookie Betts' contract. Here we go.
I mean, you have to look for it. Offhand, do you know it?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember off the top of my head because he signed it at the beginning of the year, last year. Here we go. Mookie Betts' contract. And right here. All right. It was a 12-year extension because they acquired him for the Red Sox in the trade before the season started last year. And he got 12 years earning basically, what is this? $27 million a year.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he doesn't make more than the dude that's on the pod, more than Manny.
No, the Padres I think is more. I think it's way more.
Manny, what's Manny's last name on the Padres?
You talking about Fernando Tatis Jr. man?
No. The other dude, the big signee that they had like 2 years prior.
Oh, you talking about what's his face? Yeah, I know.
Manny Machado or something like that. He's a shortstop.
Yeah. The guy that was with the Orioles. Yeah. Let me look at that. Yeah. Manny Machado. So, yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, Manny.
He got like $300 million.
Manny Machado. There you go, Manny Machado.
Yeah, Manny Machado. Now,
Okay,
so Manny Machado still on the Padres with Tatis?
Yep.
Okay. And has the Padres? What are the Padres as far as last year? Because I really did not follow baseball last year, the bubble season.
Last year they got to the wild card and they got swept by the Dodgers.
Year before that was his first year with them, I believe. What did they do that year?
Yeah. The year before that, they didn't even make the playoffs that year. Okay. I know that.
What's he hit in his first 2 years of that $300 million contract?
Okay, let's go with that. Let's go to the videotape.
This shit always kills me. I don't understand how these dudes are getting this money.
Okay, here we get it. All right, here we go. Ready? Here we go. All right, in 2019, Manny Machado.
Better not say 280 either.
Actually, his career batting average is 280.
Oh my god!
His batting average. Okay, you ready? Okay, his batting average in 2019, he hit 256, 32 home runs, 85 RBIs, 150 hits, 81 runs scored at 587 at bats.
256. 256?
Yeah, so that tells you he's all or nothing, basically.
And what did he hit last year? And it's not even like he hit 256 and 48 home runs. He hit 256 with 32 home runs. Yeah, I'll say it again. So what? One time, the catcher named Todd Hundley for the Mets hit 40 home runs, and Todd Hundley was trash. So, so if this dude can hit, if Todd Hundley can hit 40 homers as a catcher, Manny Machado coming in on his first year of this big contract, and he hits 256. And then last year in the shortened season, what he hit?
Yeah, last year he played every game, 60 games, which, by the way, in 2019, he did play 156 games, which doesn't help
I don't give a damn.
No, I'm just like, no, that proves it doesn't help his 256 because it showed that he really wasn't good. So in 2020, he played all 60 games, 224 at bats. He hit 304, 16 home runs, 47 RBIs, 68 hits, 44 runs scored.
Okay, so only 60 games was the season. So
yeah, he played every game.
If he had 200 bats and he had 304, okay, that'd have been cool if they would have had a full season. However, that was no crowd. It was no.
Yeah, that's a big.
It was no crowd in the audience. It was, so I'm sorry, man. Like these dudes, if these dudes are making this money, Mike Trout should be making a half a $500 million
See,
a year. His contract should be $500 million.
I mean,
because this dude, look at now. The only thing about Trout is, at some point, you gotta win a championship.
Oh, that's not his fault.
At some point,
management. You know what I mean? And he can't display his skills to a national audience when your team has only made the playoffs one time during his career, and you know you hear his name all the time.
What happened to that team? Now is what's his name still? Is old Pudgy still there? That guy is still their manager. He's not still their manager after all these years. Not after all these years.
Who hit the home run over Dwight Gooden in 1980?
Right. Sosa. But wait a minute, doesn't Sosa have a? Yeah, so they won their title before Trout got there, right?
Way before, like 2002. He wasn't even. He was like in high school probably.
Oh my goodness! These people never get back.
Yeah, I mean, and Mike Sosa would have been fired a long time ago if he was a New York manager, because he was there forever. Because hey, it's Anaheim. They don't care about baseball like that. They don't live and die baseball like they do in the Northeast, especially in New York and Boston. So,
Mike Trout's definitely been in the league 10 years.
Oh yeah, his first year was 2012. He's almost 10 years. This is his 10th season, but it's been 9 years. Yeah, 10 seasons.
And
This is 10
he
seasons.
probably got over 2,000 hits already.
Well, let's look at that, my friend, shall we? Since
So,
we're
so
thinking
this
about
10
it.
seasons. So what's he, 30 now?
That's a good question. He was
Because he
he
came
was
in like
definitely
21, 22 years old.
yeah. What's his name was younger, Mr. Overachiever, overrated,
Yeah,
the guy
Harper
on
was
the
like 19 though.
yeah, he was like 18, 19 years old,
Yeah.
Let me go over his stats here. Stats. Okay, here we go, Mike Trout. And let me put this out there while I get these stats. Let's some of these people, treat him like he's Mickey Mantle. Can we relax on that? Can we relax? He's a very good player. He's not like that. Okay, he ain't winning MVP. I mean, I know he won an MVP. He's been second and third in MVP. But can we relax a little bit? Just a little bit. Relax.
What, Trout?
Yeah, when you talk about Trout, I mean, he's very good, but he's not. I just don't. He's consistent. He's very consistent.
Very good. This guy is a superstar.
Now he's
How
better
many
than
MVPs did this dude have?
Okay, here we go. No, he's better than Betts. I give you that. But we gotta calm down. Wait, can we see the finish of his career, or at least a little more?
Bring this dude's numbers up.
Here we go.
This dude is like DiMaggio. He's got like DiMaggio numbers. I'm Mickey Mantle.
Yeah. Here we go. Okay, so in 2020 last year, which is hard to even.
We're not even don't even do 2020. Give me Mike Trout. You're sitting here saying, now I'm going to push back. Give me Mike Trout from the beginning, from his start up until the last full season.
Here we go. And 2011, which I really don't count because he only played 40 games.
Okay, yeah, we'll count that. Let's start 2012.
Okay, 2012 is Rookie of the Year. He batted, which he well deserved, obviously. He batted 326, 30 home runs, 83 RBIs, 182 hits, 129 runs scored, and 559 at bats, and he played 139 games. That's pretty good.
Next year.
Now, this next year is pretty good too. He batted 323, 27 home runs. Where is it? 97 RBIs, 190.
Yeah, just give me those. What's it about the year after that? I actually thought it was a little better than this, but what's his third year?
His third year in 2014, batted 287, 36 home runs, 111 RBIs, 173 hits, 115 runs scored, and 602.
Next year after that.
Yeah, see, I'm proving my point. Okay.
Yeah. You might have a point.
315. Okay, he batted 315. All right,
Okay.
All right, 29 home runs, 90 RBIs, 172 hits, 104 runs scored, and 159 games played at 575 at bats.
Like I'm thinking that these dudes. Now, how many MVPs does Trout have?
He has
at least three, right?
One. He has. I know definitely one. I'm trying to remember how many MVPs. MVPs. Okay, Oh, he's three-time MVP. Three-time MVP, Rookie of the Year, 2012, 8-time All-Star. Yeah. So
all right. What is if he won 3 times MVP? I haven't really heard an MVP season yet. So what's his MVP seasons?
That's a good, I don't know which ones off the top of my head was an MVP.
I thought this guy hit like 340, 350 one year.
That's what I'm saying, bro. He's like, I mean, in 2019, the last full season, I mean, okay, he played 134 games, but he batted on a 291. He had 45 home runs. Okay, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And he had, but actually, that's his highest total as home runs in the season. His second highest total home runs was in 2015 with 41.
But we are now in the era of not that many home runs are flying out of the way anymore. Not like how it was.
Yeah, it's like not as big deal like it used to be.
Right.
To me, it's a big deal. To me, if you bat under 300, But anyway,
you're right. He's pretty good. Yeah, I'm looking for the dude that what dude in baseball right now over the last 4 or 5 years has years like Vlad Guerrero had, and years like even a couple of the 2 or 3 years I don't know whether it was steroids or not, but the 2 or 3 years that Manny had, 330, 320.
Mhm. Even Jason Giambi had a
Jason Giambi, like those 3 year stretch, 335, 345.
140 RBIs,
Yeah, 145. Yeah.
40 some home runs.
Where are those guys?
Yeah, but that's my point. That it's just like, steroids took fun out the game.
or did it make the game fun? It really depends on what you consider fun.
His MVP seasons of, this is Mike Trout was still talking about. It was 2014, 2016, and 2019, while finishing second in MVP voting in 2012, 2013, 2015, and 2018.
Damn,
but
they really think high of this guy. But these numbers, I don't understand where these numbers are coming from. These numbers that you just read me, they were not, unless the rest of the league was just totally down.
Yeah, it's not black type of numbers, like it stands out in the baseball card, like, wow, he batted 345 and he hit like 45, 50 home runs and 145 RBIs or batted runs batted in 200 over 200 hits, stuff like that.
Right. I think those days of baseball, I don't know what the heck they did.
I think
maybe they took out the juice out the ball. I don't know what the hell they did. Tighten the balls too tight or whatever that case may be. Yeah. But dudes aren't hitting home runs like they used to.
No, they're not. So, with Lindor here seeking 12 years, 385 million, I mean, I think you got too much you got too much confidence in yourself,
Yeah, go out there this year, give me 330, 45 home runs and a $120, and then we'll think about it.
He ain't hitting no 45 home runs, bro. Lindor is not doing 45. If he does 25, 30, I'll be like, good. Okay, wow, okay.
Right.
I don't know about
so if you're gonna give me 25 home runs, and I want to see 340.
And I better see, and you also better see the RBIs be up there, at least near 100.
Right.
And better see stealing bases. But I mean, they offer you 10 years, 325 million. I mean, it's not like they gave you a little bag and say, here's some nickels and pennies,
Remember all those years Larry Walker hit like 350, 350. Like,
I mean, Pedro Guerrero, who used to hit the ball off the dirt, it was better.
Yeah.
Way better.
Man, these dudes.
The times in sports where, people really stand out, like really, where they think they're really good, it's not as it used to be, because they really blow Mike Trout up way over proportion. In the media, they treated him like, oh man, he's like Mickey Mouse.
But I'll tell you one thing, he's better than Bryce Harper, and they treat Bryce Harper the same exact way they treat. Now maybe they don't now that he went to Phillies. I haven't really heard much out of him since he went to Phillies.
I totally agree with that. Absolutely, yeah. Bruce Harper,
but at least Trout has been more productive than him.
Oh, more consistent.
The only thing that I needed to see, is the year after this dude left, they won the World Series. That's all I needed to see from this guy. That's all I needed to see.
Is that
he's supposed to be the future, the face of baseball.
The franchise. Oh, the face of baseball. Not even, the face of baseball.
The face of baseball going forward. They came in and made him bigger than Strasburg. After all those years they waited for Strasburg, they made him bigger than Strasburg. But Strasburg is what? Isn't he hurt again? Like another major injury?
I heard something about with Strasburg. Yeah, that
this dude's finished. Like, this is like his second major arm surgery.
I don't know.
What is with these dudes, man?
They all get Tommy John.
I don't understand how we're in 2021 technology. So the technology is supposed to be better. The machinery is supposed to be better. The equipment is supposed to be better. And these guys are getting hurt left, right, and center.
Yeah. Here we go.
And dudes back in the day, the old guys that were built like freaking pears had no body structure, had none of this technology stuff, and they're throwing 150, 160 pitches a game, complete games, and then they're coming back 5 days later and throwing another 150 pitches.
Yeah, he had let's see, he entered the camp at Strasbourg. He was hampered this spring by a ruptured plantaris tendon in his left calf, which he is no longer bothered by. As Strasbourg prepares for his first appearance of the regular season, he will focus on continuing to sync his mechanics and consistently making faster adjustments. Okay. But doesn't say
adjust. I got an adjustment for you. Hey, let me tell you something, man, about these dudes. It reminds me of that dude. I remember when this guy was pitching, they were like, "Oh, this guy's the perfect pitcher. He has the perfect release, and he's never going to get hurt." His name was Mark Pryor, right, for the Cubs. When this dude came up, they said he's got the perfect form, the perfect release. This dude is never going to get hurt. This dude, I think he threw 30 games, maybe one season. He spent most of his career hurt. He got hurt. He never pitched complete games. He always come out 6 innings. They did all of that. I don't understand why baseball don't understand that stuff don't mean nothing. Look how they've been babying Strasbourg. The guy never throws 100 pitches. He never throws complete games, and he still stays hurt. So they should understand that all of that babying the pitcher doesn't mean you're not going to get hurt.
Yeah. Also, it hurts your sport because you're trying to market your sport, and you don't see the major pitchers. Your aces. There's almost no more aces no more that go 7+ innings anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. There was 1 year, Catfish Hunter. Now I'm really going back. He had about, I think, 35 complete games. Yo, you'd be lucky to see 2 or 3 from one guy. 35 complete games. I mean, come on. I mean, it's ridiculous. And it's all goes from the high school to college, the minor. They baby them. They've turned into stocks, investments instead of just athletes. And I say it again. Judge. He stayed off the weights this year. Same thing with Stanton. No, I've been saying it for years. Baseball is not for being super built. You're supposed to have flexibility. That's why you get those oblique injuries and bicep and all this other crap because you're too big.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's an investment, but you're not making good on your investment. These guys are pitching 6 innings a night, 100 pitches, and they're still getting hurt. So when they're out there, you're not getting the most out of them, and then they get hurt anyway.
Yeah.
So you cannot tell me, the season, and I know people are going to go back to, Strasbourg, he was doing that for him the year that was the 1 year that it worked. And it took how many years for that to work? Look at all the years they've been taking out, they took Kershaw out in the 6th inning. All those years. It took him 10 years to win a championship?
Oh, well, the Dodgers. The first title since '88. Sorry to have to say '88, but that was the last time they won a title. Since 1988, the Dodgers. So
I thought the Dodgers just won.
Yeah, last year, but that was their first title since 1988.
Right. So what I'm saying is, all those years they babied Kershaw. Meanwhile, Hershiser, he was out there throwing on short rest, coming in relief, throwing complete games, and didn't do nothing to him. You know what I'm saying? It didn't do anything to his arm.
Yeah.
And these guys are supposed to be built better than these other guys. I mean, more technology. They all, like you said, they all come out here all built, all muscle bound, and they get hurt more than the guys like a Tom Seaver. He was built like an apple.
Yeah.
You know? But
Like
Tom Seaver was throwing right. But the Tom Seaver was out there throwing. God bless the dead, by the way. He was out there throwing complete games, 160 pitch complete games, and this dude is right back out there 5 days later.
I mean, you can remember the name Greg Maddux. This dude.
There you go.
He was a pitcher, a real pitcher, meaning he didn't just strike you out with fastballs. And he pitched like an artist painting the Mona Lisa. You know, he knew what to throw, and he was a great fielder too. He won Gold Gloves as a pitcher, mind you. On top of that, and I remember one game. The game was over within an hour and a half, and he threw like 70-something, 80 pitches.
Oh yeah, remember that? I remember them games.
Remember? Yeah, the game. It's like, yo, game over. Like what? And he would do that to American League teams, he did American League teams, not just National League. Teams with the DH, and he still did that. So it's like, you know what it is? Everybody, if you notice with baseball, everything's about, hey, Michael Rosa is saying Max was always better than Strasburg.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I mean, Strasburg, like I said, Strasburg had, I don't even know if he's had, Strasburg had better control than Scherzer, because Scherzer threw a lot of pitches, number one. Like Scherzer, it was always a dude like in the fourth inning, he's like 99. I'm like, this dude's throwing 100 pitches already in the fourth inning.
Now, so you see what the problem is. You really break it down. All these guys now want to strike out everybody. That's including the bullpen staff, by the way. It's not, hey, dude, you got, including the catcher, you got 8 fielders. You don't have to strike out everybody. Get the guy to hit a ground ball. Get the quick out. That's why the pitch count goes up. That's why by the 5th inning, oh wow, it's near 80-something pitches. 90 pitches already. Yeah, you know why? Because here's the 3-2 pitch, foul ball. Here's the 3-2 foul ball. Here's foul ball. Here we go again. 2-1, 3-1. Like, come on. That's why the game. That's another reason why the game takes whatever. The guy. Let's go over the signs again. That guy. See that baseball I didn't grow up with, man. That all changed, and going into the 2000s and stuff. It just terrible, man. And if I wasn't such a hardcore baseball fan, if I was like 20, 25 years ago, now, like if I was in like a teenager or whatever right now, I probably wouldn't be watching baseball.
That's true. Let's just hope that as we close up this convo, let's just hope that as the years goes on, maybe baseball will come out of the 17th century and get with the program.
Like the other sports, exactly. You know what I'm saying? The NBA stopped using peach baskets a long time ago. Okay.
Exactly. Speaking of the NBA,
yes,
I'll say this.
Go ahead.
I'll make this quick because I don't want to get on, my team too much. But you look over at the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah.
You got Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant. Then they get James Harden. Then they sign Blake Griffin. Then they sign LaMarcus Aldridge. And you know what this tells me at the end of the day?
What does it tell you?
That GOAT James is a bad boy. Because let me tell you something. You
got a good point.
This is what it takes to beat this 38-year-old man. This washed up man. You mean to tell me
LeBron James?
You need Kevin Durant, James Harden, Kyrie Irving, Blake Griffin, LaMarcus Aldridge. You need all these dudes. I heard they even put a call into Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I don't know whether that rumor is true, but that's what I heard.
I heard Bill Russell's on his way too.
I mean, all of this, it just goes to show. Let me tell you something. Everybody says about how LeBron is the cause of the super teams. No, the Boston Celtics started that. Why? Because they could not beat GOAT James. Because LeBron James came out at 22 years of age, destroyed the bad boy Pistons too, the team that had represented the Eastern Conference that previous 3 seasons. LeBron James came, beat them, knocked them out of the way. The Boston Celtics said, we are not going to be able to handle this dude. They went and got KG, brought him over there, got Ray Allen, brought him over there with Paul Pierce because they knew they wasn't going to be able to handle him. They had to get 3 dudes. All right. LeBron James goes to Miami, right? LeBron James goes to Miami. And once he got over there, when he was there, even though it didn't work, the Lakers had to try to put together a super team. They tried to do Dwight Howard, Kobe, Nash, and Paul Gasol. Okay. Didn't work. They was a little past their prime. When LeBron goes back to Cleveland, you got a 73-9 team. 73-9. And they couldn't do anything with LeBron James. They blew a 3-1 lead to LeBron James.
First team
what
to
happens?
ever come
Right. What happens? Draymond Green goes into the parking lot and starts crying and calling for Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant said, I got to go over there with them because I have nothing I could do with LeBron James. People don't forget that Kevin Durant, I believe, was 5-17 against LeBron James in his first 22 games. 5-17. He goes to Golden State, and of course, he's with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. So they had to do that to beat. Whenever LeBron James has one other superstar, teams have to put together super teams to take this man down. Now he goes back to LA. The first year, he had nobody. Everybody laughed at him. Oh, look what he did. The team didn't even make the playoffs, blah, blah, blah. So now he gets one other superstar, Anthony Davis. They win last year. And now they come in this year, and people are putting together not only super teams. If Kevin Durant wins a title this year, should he get respect? No, because if they didn't give him respect for Golden State, where he was the best player and won 2 MVPs, if they didn't give him respect then, he said he was going to Brooklyn with Kyrie so they could he could win a championship there and get his respect. Now you got James Harden over there, you got Blake Griffin, you got all these dudes over there. Is Kevin Durant really going to get the respect that he deserves if they win a title with all those dudes?
Nope. I don't think so.
I'm telling you, man.
I don't think so.
James, I don't want to hear anything, and I know you don't really like LeBron, but let me tell you something.
I respect him as a player, though.
If LeBron James, if that bad man 23 Akron comes out of this one and beats the Clippers, and then goes over to beats the Clippers, who so-called put together their super team, the 2 best wing defenders in the league, George Paul and Kawhi Leonard. Yeah. If they beat them, if the Clippers can get there, and they go over and beat these dudes with all them dudes in the East, right? After he's already came back from 3-1 and beat Golden State, the best team technically ever. If he beats this super team with really just Anthony Davis as his other primary star on a season where he got hurt.
Yeah. And Anthony
Davis comes back, and Anthony Davis comes back, and they win the title and they beat the Nets, I think I might be willing to say this dude is the GOAT. I mean, because look at what he had to endure. Golden State, 73-9. Could someone please point out to me? And you know I love Jordan.
I do too.
I love Jordan. You know I think Jordan's a GOAT. But can you please point out to me the 73-9 team that Michael Jordan never had to beat in the finals? I mean, what's the best team? Did Michael Jordan have to play a team as good as Golden State? I mean, Seattle. Seattle was very good that year. The Phoenix Suns, I think, won 61. I think that game. So the Phoenix was very good.
Yeah,
but Phoenix really only had Charles Barkley. Seattle had Peyton and Kemp. All right,
and Utah was very good. They were very good.
They're not Steph Curry and Klay Thompson.
No, they're very good. You take away John Stockton and Karl Malone, you're like, okay,
right? And Utah, what are they really?
And the crime dog, what's his name? That dude. But the thing,
I don't know if he could do it, but if he ever did,
we were. I would have loved to have seen, and I would just love to have seen. Had Kobe would have been, came in the league a little sooner, like if he was born a little.
I would have loved to have seen that.
That would have been. It almost could have happened. I mean, but by only a few years off. But that would have been something to see a Kobe Laker team with Shaq against the Jordan. You can go with Jordan. You want to go with Jordan, Pippen, and Rodman and those guys? Fine. Yeah. That's fine with me. That would have been, that would have been like Lakers Celtics in the 80s. That would have been something. I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you either way. Like, oh yeah, the Bulls would have won, and I can't say, well, yeah, the Lakers would have won easy. That's a toss-up. That you talk about a pick 'em.
That's true.
Pick 'em, man. That that would have been. I would have loved.
But thanks for having me on, James. I gotta put this kid to bed.
No problem.
But
we'll do some stuff.
The show, I'm gonna definitely go back on the replay. We'll do it again next week. Thank you for having me on, my brother.
Absolutely, no problem. I represent right here. See, right here.
Represent.
That's right. Absolutely. Thank you, Evan. We'll do stuff next week.
Yes, sir.
Yes, there you go. Thank you, Evan Hollywood, for coming on my show. My co-host, ladies and gentlemen. Don't one and only Evan Hollywood. Thank you so much. And thank you, Michael Rosa, for commenting. We appreciate that. And we thank you all who's been in the comments. Thank you all. Miss Cha, I didn't know that she was on. How you doing? Thank you for being on. And everyone else that was been on here, thank you so much. We greatly appreciate it. And going, me and Hetman could talk about anything forever. We got that, we got that gift of gab that we can go forever. But we can't do that because we all have lives. So it's time to move on. I didn't get to everything I wanted to get to, but that's how it happens sometimes on the show. There's always next week and there's always next time. So thank you all for listening to this week's version of the Benchwarmers podcast, exclusively here on the IE Network on YouTube. Tune in next Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where it be me and my co-host Heaven Hollywood, and sometimes my producer. Shout out to my producer also, besides Heaven Hollywood. Shout out to not only Heaven Hollywood, but shout out to his brother Wes Clark, my producer, the director himself. Usually, sometimes he comes on here every so often. So shout out to him. Thank you for all your work and your support, and thank you all for listening and watching. Without you, there's no us. Also, like, comment, or subscribe this show and share it with your friends, just like the other shows on this channel too. You got Real Talk with Wes Clark and the Jedi Council. That's every Monday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here in the IE Network. You also have, like I said earlier, Heaven with his Heaven Hollywood Experience right here. See, guy right here, Heaven Hollywood Experience. Yes, right here. He does a show about once a week or so on here. There's no really given day, but he definitely not only does that, he uploads, he does his YouTube lives on here with the heavy hitters. I'm, of course, you know, I'm even more than a heavy hitter. I'm like, you know, his friend, so even better than that. But anyway, so you got that, you know, his YouTube lives. He also has his little every now and then his little updates. So what's going on in the entertainment world. And also we got Blog TV. Don't forget Blog TV with our homegirl Cruz on here who does her thing. She does an excellent job. That's like a 5 or 10 minute video that she does every week. She does an outstanding job. So shout out to her. Kudos to you, and kudos to you all out there. So just keep supporting this channel. Keep sharing this channel. Word of mouth is always important. So spread the word, as like I always say, and continue to support and watch this show and continue to watch it. As I go into the IE network horizon, I said this to you all as I depart into the darkness. I say, be safe, live your life, don't take your life for granted. And as I always say, on top of all things, latest and tomatoes. Peace.